Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rise or Die podcast. This is yours truly, Stephen M. Lowisz, for episode 82, The Best Ways to Stay Broke. So I was chuckling to myself this past weekend. I was at my wife's college graduation. She just got her bachelor's in dietetics, super proud of her, super pumped for her. In the medical industry, it obviously makes sense to get a degree. In business, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like the end of story. So as I'm sitting in this graduation, there were about 2,500 people between the two graduation sessions or whatever you want to call them. So I was doing the math, how much debt per student is in this room, and then how many students are there? Well, 2,500. So how much total debt? And I forget what the exact number was, and obviously it's a guesstimate, but it was in the millions upon millions, many, many millions. So I was chuckling to myself, most of these people are on the path, and I'm talking more so business, not like my wife when it comes to dietetics, but most of these people are going to graduate. Maybe they have a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 job lined up, and at the pinnacle of the career, maybe they make six figures. Maybe they hit 100K. That's the majority in that room. And really, that's the majority in just about every room. For some reason, everyone thinks at 100K, you just make it. So that's their life's mission. Now, there's a couple of ways. That was my little side story into a bigger conversation. That conversation is the couple of easy ways to basically throw money out the window, inhibit your progress, and not have it all. I'm feeling a little sarcastic and blunt today. So after I was doing all this math with, of course, these college degrees that, in my opinion, most of them are absolutely worthless, depending on what you want to do, of course. They're absolutely worthless. And then I was talking to someone about 401ks. And they were asking questions. My wife's looking to get a job, and she has a couple of opportunities lined up, some interviews and whatnot, which I think is awesome. Again, not for me, but I'm super proud of her. So I'm having a conversation, and they were asking, well, what does the 401k have for the job that Rachel's interviewing for? And now I didn't, because I was being respectful, but I basically wanted to say, the fuck are you talking about? The only bigger scam than college is a 401k. I'm very polarizing, and you're either kind of interested in wanting to know what I say next, or you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And you're clicking off right now. I don't really care. I'm going to have some fun with this. The only bigger scam than college itself is a 401k. Here's college. The average student goes $30,400 in debt. Okay? A lot of people are going to go more than 100, 200, even 300,000 in debt. But the national average, last time I looked, was $30,400. You're going to go into that much debt. It's going to take you till age, I think it was 41 to pay that shit off. And you're going to make 50K or so, give or take a little, of course. Maybe 70. Oh, big spender, right? Then you go to 401k. With a 401k, you're basically saying, hey, Mr. 401k administrator, take all of this hard-earned money, anywhere from 5 to 10% of my money, take it until I'm 60 years old, and then give it back to me, and I hope you did something well with it. Now, yes, you're probably going to make a little bit of money off of a 401k, maybe even a lot because of compound interest. Yes, I do understand how compound interest works. My approach is much different. See, I feel like this is the approach of the sheep. This is the approach of the sheep, which is kind of an asshole thing to say, but it's true, and let me explain. When it comes to college, what could I do with $30,000? I could turn $30,000 into $300,000 very quickly. I could start a business very quickly with $30,000. What's a better investment, starting your own business or working for someone else, going 30K into debt, and
Hey everybody,
hoping
welcome to
one
the
day you
Rise
make
or Die
75 to
podcast with
100K.
Stephen M. Lowisz.
Hoping
This is
and praying
episode
for it.
10, Wet
Now
T-shirt.
401k.
And no, the title
Yes.
probably doesn't give you a good idea of what I'm actually talking about.
That you die,
I'm talking about
you
a
might be
literal wet
millionaire.
T-shirt, so get your mind out of the gutter.
Well, one, you're almost dead.
I don't
Two,
hate anything.
even if you get
I don't
10%
think
interest for the
more
rest
than
of
being
your
cold.
life, and it's going to
I hate
fluctuate.
being
Some years
cold.
it'll be more, some
I'm
years
not
you'll
talking
lose.
chilly, but
I get
like
it.
chilled to the bone.
The better investment
I get up
is
in the
investing
morning
in
a couple
yourself.
days a week, go to the
Starting
gym
a
and jump in the
business,
pool.
investing in a
And
business.
Once I'm
investing
in the
yourself,
pool, I'm
taking
good.
a course,
But
learning
it's
more.
a complete mental
Sure,
fuck.
maybe you get
It's a mind
10%
fuck
every year. Maybe you
trying
get
to get
15%
into that
every
pool.
year.
I don't know why.
I'm
I have
gonna
an easier time getting
at
up at 4 a.m.
least
than I do when
add
I'm
to
already
my
up to
income
just get
every
into the
single
damn
year
pool.
by 25%.
It was a little
at
different,
least.
though. So I
And it's because I
combined
take
actually
the money
2 days
that I
worth
have
of workouts.
and I invest it
did
into
a
learning, into
50-minute
development,
bike ride,
into
and
my
then
business.
a 4-mile run.
I invest it into practical
And
things.
normally
I am
I
not
take a
willing
couple
to be a
shirts in
sheep
my gym bag
telling
just
someone
so,
here,
you know,
take my money,
as you get
and I hope you
really
do something
sweaty,
well with it, and I'll see it in 40
especially
years.
during long endurance,
This is ludicrous.
Cardio and exercise.
College and
The
401k,
cold
in my
tends
opinion,
to seep in,
are the
right?
two
Wet
biggest
t-shirt.
scams out there.
Again,
if
literal wet
you
t-shirt.
want to be an entrepreneur.
It
if
makes
you
it cold as
don't,
hell.
then that's a different
Well,
conversation.
I forgot extra shirts today. And
But the question that
I was
have
actually
for you
feeling perfectly
after
fine
this
when it
long
comes to how I was,
story and my
breathing,
little
my
rant and
muscles.
whatnot.
I was doing completely fine. Probably
We're
could
a
have pushed even a
crossbody
little
being
bit
balanced
harder.
business. Are you
But
possibly
holy
just
shit,
consider the possibility
that wet T-shirt was
that
fucking
you're
with
acting
me.
as a sheep?
That wet T-shirt
We
made
all
me
do
wanna
it,
quit.
including
That
me.
wet
I'm going to
T-shirt
throw
made
myself
it
under the
miserable.
bus here completely.
And it was all
And
mental,
by
100%
being a
mental.
sheep, I mean,
I'm a little
what do you
chilly
just
on the
take,
outside. Got a couple
at
extra
face value?
pounds. I've got insulation, as I call
What
it.
do you
I'm
take?
slightly fluffy, right?
What are you listening to?
But
Because
man,
someone
that
told you,
T-shirt
as opposed
was
to doing
rough.
your own research to
And
come up with
you know,
your own
when
opinion
you're doing a lot of
and
cardio,
determine
you
your
have
own
some time
results.
to think.
Where are you just following
And
the crowd?
I realize I have a wet T-shirt in every area.
It's kind of a tough
my life.
question
And
because
yes,
we have
this
to
is
throw
a little
ourselves under the
cheesy,
bus. So if
but
you have
so
an
be
ego,
it. I have
you're
a wet
definitely
T-shirt
saying,
in every
well,
area
geez, I'm not
of
a
my
sheep.
life, and for me, a wet T-shirt,
But we all are in some areas.
is
So we're a
something
crossbody
small
being balanced in business.
that's fucking with my
Are
head.
you a sheep?
That actually has
No, I'm not.
no.
I'm not saying go bash
effect
yourself if you have a degree.
on me physically.
I'm
It has no
not at
effect
all.
on me except the effect
like
I
I
let
said,
it
I'm
have
super
on
proud
me.
of my wife for graduating. I think
There
it's
was
applicable
nothing
in many
miserable
situations,
about the dang
but for anyone
T-shirt.
who
It
wants
was all
to
mental.
quote unquote have it all,
What in my
and
marriage,
own their own businesses,
there are
it's
things
complete
that
fucking waste.
get under my skin that really,
So we're a
truly
crossbody
just
being
don't
balanced in
matter.
business.
In business,
Are
I
you
try
acting
to do
potentially,
shit
just consider,
that I don't want to
like
do.
a sheep?
And
Following
it
the
doesn't
crowd,
affect me physically at all.
not actually
I just
doing
don't
your
want to
research or
fucking
coming
do
up
it, so
with
I have
your
a
own
mental block,
opinions.
a roadblock.
That's what I have for you for episode 82,
I have a wet
the best ways
T-shirt
to
in
stay
every
broke,
area of my
college,
life.
and
For me, a wet
401k.
T-shirt, when it
Now,
comes
with
to
that being
faith, is
said,
simply
feel free to give me
I
your
don't
feedback.
want to keep reading the
You can cuss
Bible
me out.
because
You
I
can
feel
do
like I'm
whatever you want.
ADD
Stephen at
and I don't have the patience. That's the same thing. It's a wet T-shirt. It's essentially a distraction
subscribe at
that's getting in the way of what I want,
exclusive content. And lastly,
but it's all mental.
Of course, share this podcast
We
with
let
someone
mental
that you want more for out of their life,
irritation,
someone that needs a little
mental
kick in the ass every day,
discomfort
just like
fuck
you
with
get from
us.
me.
Stop
I'll
us
talk to
from
you
getting
soon.
the results that we want. Stop us from getting the results that we demand across all of the core four: body, being, balance, and business. So again, I know the concept is a little cheesy, but hey, I'm going to share. I'm going to share whatever I get out of that day with you. And today it happens to be a wet T-shirt. Tomorrow it might be a dry towel. Who knows? But the question I'll pose to you is, what is your wet T-shirt in body, being, balance, and business? What's the small mental irritation, the mental roadblock that you have set up that's stopping you from the success that you want? I pushed through today. That T-shirt did not affect me at all. I was cold. I was kind of shivering a little bit. So all I did was run harder. And then I forgot all about it because my body temperature was plenty high. So what's the wet T-shirt that you're going to rip apart and tear down across body, being, balance, and business over the next day or two? Do me a favor, share this podcast with someone that you think could benefit from it. Always appreciate a good share. And don't forget to subscribe at riseordiepodcast.com. Talk to you soon.